Ah, there you are. Right. You see, I need to have someone taken care of.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most unforgivable DreamWorks moments.
The only reason you're still alive is that I find your stupidity mildly amusing.
For this list, we'll be looking at times when characters in DreamWorks animation films do truly indefensible things. Did we miss any irredeemable moments? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. RJ betrays the animals over the hedge. After he accidentally ruins a stash of food belonging to an intimidating bear, wily raccoon RJ has only a week to undo his actions.
All right, RJ. I'm going back to sleep. When that moon is full, I'm waking up. And all my stuff had better be right back where it was.
He meets a group of innocent creatures who are victims of human development and comes up with a way to replace the damaged supply.
Not if we work together. You see, you've got the food gathering skills, I've got the know-how, and they have the food.
How much food?
Loads of food. Heaps of food. Food out the wazoo!
Suggesting they cross into human territory with secure food stores, he plots to take the fruits of their labor to settle his debt. Things get even more gnarly when the unwitting animals side with him over one of their own. As if it couldn't get any worse, RJ goes ahead with his plan until the last moment.
That is the most vicious, deceitful, self-serving thing I've ever seen. Classic RJ.
Sure, he has a change of heart, but only after he leaves his newfound family to the exterminator.
This is the gateway to the good life.
Really wish you would have told me that sooner.
Yeah, well, that's bad communication. Also something families do.
Number 9. The Boof's takeover of Earth. Home. This sci-fi comedy begins with an event that alters the course of human history, and not in a good way.
This planet is inhabited, but do not worry. The native savages are simple and backwards.
Oh, they are so ugly. They are cute.
The Booth, aliens fleeing a race known as the Gorg, decide it's within their right to stage a total takeover of Earth. And what happens to the planet's residents? They're shipped to select areas while the Booth take their place.
Ta-da! Humans persons are happiness and joy forever in Happy Humans Town.
Welcome to your new home.
What? No!
New home?
Although Home is a kids' movie through and through, this plot development has an undercurrent of serious darkness, recalling real-life tragedies.
Welcome, Boob settlers. All humans have been relocated.
Although we're rooting for some Booth characters like Jim Parsons' O, their decisions to conquer Earth is obviously questionable.
Slushious?
It makes excellent fuel and comes in fun to say flavors. Grape Escape, Tangerine Twist, Bust a Lime.
Number 8. Grimmel has Burke burned down. How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. The antagonist of the third How to Train Your Dragon film isn't exactly likable.
When all is said and done, this young chief will bring me the Night Fury. They don't have a leader, just a boy.
We've gotten to know and love dragons over the course of the film series, so a man notorious for hunting the awe-inspiring creatures is easy to hate.
I am the Night Fury killer. I've hunted every last one but yours. You are going to give me that dragon.
On top of that, Grimmel is responsible for a truly terrible act. When he pays Hiccup a visit in the latter's hometown of Burke, Hiccup's plans for a surprise attack go awry.
They're dragon killers, drugged into obedience with their own venom. Not even your precious Alpha could control them. They serve me, and only me.
With Grimmel getting out and his dragons setting the entire community ablaze, it marks a devastating defeat. Thankfully, our hero and his neighbours are able to pick up the pieces. Number 7. How the Colonel Treats Spirit. Spirit, stallion of the Cimarron. Engaging in animal abuse is one way to make a character entirely unsympathetic.
Round up some volunteers to, take this animal to the stables.
Not the stables.
Sir?
The corral. It's time to break that horse.
The protagonist in this western, the most prominent stallion in a frontier herd, is tragically captured by wranglers. A painstaking attempt to domesticate Spirit follows, and it's difficult to watch.
Sergeant!
Yes, sir.
Tie this horse to the post. No food or water. 3 days.
Yes, sir.
After the horse resists being controlled, the cavalry leader known as the Colonel subjects him to truly cruel treatment.
How long has it been, Sergeant?
Sir?
The Mustang. How long has it been tied?
3 days, sir.
Good. Fetch my crop and spurs.
With Spirit roped to a post with zero sustenance for days on end, it makes for a heartbreaking sequence. However, that does make it all the more satisfying when the stallion finally escapes from the Colonel's clutches. Number 6. Drago kills Stoic's friends. How to Train Your Dragon 2. While Stoic is very much at odds with his son Hiccup in the first movie, his arc in this sequel is somewhat tragic.
Let's go find him and change his mind.
Oh, some minds won't be changed, Hiccup. Berk is what you need to worry about. A chief protects his own.
Part of this stems from the actions of Drago Bloodfist, a Viking leader with a nefarious plan for the entirety of dragonkind.
Years ago, there was a great gathering of chieftains to discuss the dragon scourge we all faced. Into our midst came a stranger from a strange land.
When Hiccup wants to reason with the enemy, his father intervenes and shares a dark story from his past. As it turns out, Drago has once tried to make a deal with his fellow chieftains.
He claimed that he alone could control the dragons and that he alone could keep us safe if we chose to bow down and follow him.
When the negotiations didn't go as he desired, his dragons made quick work of everyone but Stoic.
The rooftop suddenly burst into flames, and from it, armored dragons descended, burning the hall to the ground.
It's a sad and downright terrifying tale that totally justifies Stoic's serious reservations. Number 5. Dr. Zara tries to kill Yi. Abominable. There's nothing abominable about the Yeti known as Everest in this adventure flick. That word could definitely apply to another character though. The zoologist Dr. Zara.
Listen, you've got this all wrong. That wild beast is unpredictable, even dangerous. We were trying to rescue your friend when the Yeti kidnapped her.
She and Everest's captor, a magnate called Mr. Burnish, join forces to track down the creature. You'd think that as an animal scientist, Zara would have more empathy for the Yeti. Even so, she'll practically stop at nothing to get her hands on him and make a profit.
Lots of reinforcements.
Yes, sir. What do those powers mean for us?
That Yeti's price tag just doubled.
This includes pushing our heroine Yi, who is only a teenager, off an icy bridge. It doesn't get more ruthless than that.
No! Well, that's one down.
Number 4. King Harold takes a hit out on Shrek. Shrek 2. This one's all in the family. King Harold's shady dealings make for much of the conflict in this second installment of the comedy franchise.
You see, we made a deal, Harold, and I assume you don't want me to go back on my part.
Indeed not.
So Fiona and Charming will be together.
Yes.
We wouldn't dislike him quite as much if he'd simply challenged his despised son-in-law to a duel. But the backdoor nature of his actions somehow make them worse.
You're the one to talk to about an ogre problem?
You're told correct. But for these, I charge a great deal of money.
Would this be enough?
Harold visits a seedy bar to orchestrate the murder of his daughter's true love. Of course, the would-be assassin turns into a trusted ally for Shrek.
Fiona's father paid you to do this? The Rich King? See.
Well, so much for Dad's royal blessing.
To be fair, Harold's plan in service of his debt to the fairy godmother, but we can all agree that murder isn't the answer to family drama.
I was hoping you'd let me apologize for my despicable behavior earlier.
Okay.
I don't know what came over me. Do you suppose we could just pretend it never happened and start over?
Number 3. Lord Farquaad torments the gingerbread man, Shrek. The Shrek movies are known for their clever and sometimes edgy sense of humour.
The first runner-up will take his place, and so on and so forth. Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
But one of the first film's earliest scenes is downright disturbing. Sure, the sequence fittingly introduces us to the ruthless and totally self-serving Farquaad, but we're heartbroken that this comes at Gingy's expense.
Tell me, or I'll...
No, not the buttons! Not my gumdrop buttons!
All right then, who's hiding them?
Okay, I'll tell you.
We first see the humanoid cookie being dunked in milk as a method of suffocation. Then Farquaad taunts the powerless prisoner with his own broken legs.
Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man!
If the scene weren't using a fantastical edible character, it would be extraordinarily dark. Gingy calls his captor a monster, and we're inclined to agree.
You're a monster!
I'm not the monster here, you are! You and the rest of that fairy tale trash poisoning my perfect world. Now tell me, where are the others?
Eat me!
Number 2. What Pharaoh Seti Does to Infants, the Prince of Egypt. This musical drama focuses on some events from the Book of Exodus that aren't exactly light fare.
River, oh river, flow gently for me. Such precious cargo you bear.
The film tells the story of Moses, and his backstory in ancient Egypt is dark to say the least. In the opening sequence, we learn that Hebrew babies are being violently taken away from their families. Our protagonist, of course, escapes this grim fate and is unwittingly adopted by royalty.
Brother, come back someday. Come and deliver us too.
Years later, however, he discovers the truth. Moses realizes that his father figure, Pharaoh Seti, ordered this tragedy among the enslaved population.
Sacrifices.
Oh, my son. They were only slaves.
From that point on, Seti is pretty much irredeemable. Ditto his son Ramesses, who chooses to keep the Hebrews in captivity after assuming power.
He was a great leader.
His hands bore the blood of thousands of children.
Slaves.
My people. And I can no longer hide in the desert while they suffer.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honourable mentions. General Mandible's plan. Ants. Destroying most of your community to ensure only the strong survive? Yikes.
4 more days, and we can bid final farewell to their kind of incompetence.
Yes, sir.
A fresh start. Imagine it.
A strong colony, sir.
Eep endangers her family, the Croods. When the teen sneaks out at night, she leaves her family hideout totally vulnerable.
Are you hurt? What took you?
Nothing. I left on my own.
You... what?
Dad, let me explain.
Alex tries to eat Marty, Madagascar. The predator-prey dynamic comes between these two close friends.
You and me, remember? I don't want to hurt you.
Farquaad attempts to marry Fiona, under false pretenses. Shrek. The Lord has no love for Fiona, he just wants to be a king.
You'll beg for death to save you! And as for you, my wife, Fiona, I'll have you locked back in that tower for the rest of your days!
Eris frames Sinbad. Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas. The wicked goddess gets Sinbad and his old friend Proteus the death penalty.
Let him go to Tartarus and recover the book.
What? What are you doing?
You claim that Eris stole the book. Steal it back. You're good at that.
Hey, look, I will not be responsible for your life.
You would do the same for me.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Shen's attack on the pandas. Kung Fu Panda 2. All of the villains in the Kung Fu Panda trilogy do some pretty terrible things, but Lord Shen takes it over the edge in the second film. In the prologue, we learned that the warmongering peacock attacked local pandas due to a threatening prophecy.
That if Shen continued down this dark path, he would be defeated by a warrior of black and white. The young lord set out to change his fate.
But it's only when Po has the flashback to his youth that we grasp the full effect of Shen's actions.
Get them all! Take our son and run away! Go!
For one, it's heartbreaking to see Po's mother attempt to save her son from a fiery demise and ward off their assailants. But it's particularly devastating to know that the bear population was destroyed, even if some pandas would live to see another day.
My son is alive.
It's an important saga in Po's characterization, but it makes Shen utterly hateable.
How did you find peace? I took away your parents. Everything. I scarred you for life.
See, that's the thing, Shen. Scars heal.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.